What's going on outside? There is no outside. For there is only Zool. Lockdown Tower, aka La Tour, is a French film streaming now on Shudder and centers around the inhabitants of a multi-level apartment complex known as the Tower, Rapunzel, Rapunzel. And basically they are just trying to get through life. Some are welcoming a child, some are taking care of their animals, some are working from home, some are just teenagers that are just trying to take care of their siblings, and then others have more nefarious things going on, and all that stuff gets turned upside down all around. Come on, defense work. When they realize they suddenly can't see more than, a couple feet out the window. It's just a black, mysterious void. Can't even see the building across the goddamn street. This is unusual, so people go to investigate. And the people that go to investigate don't come back. They end up devoured. They end up just totally goddamn eaten clean. That's it. They're gone. They're never coming back. They're dead. He's fine. He sends his love. Bonus points if you get that goddamn reference. And everybody now realizes they have to buddy up. They have to just shelter in place, and they have to solve this mystery before they are all foggy history. The Lockdown Tower Tales, woohoo! So, yes. Basically, it has a cast of French people. Obviously, in a French film, that's what you want. Otherwise, the language barrier would get very difficult to understand. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the writer-director's name or the names of any of the cast members because I don't want to disrespect them. But I encourage you guys to check out their other work. And the concept actually works pretty goddamn well because it's a neat little setup. Like, okay, just bam, we're suddenly thrust into this. And these people, their internet service, their television service, the electricity is going all haywire. Certain things are taken away. They realize food and water need to be rationed. And maybe this will just last a little bit. Maybe it's going to last a while. Who goddamn knows? Yes, it's an allegory for the pandemic and for being isolated and having your life interrupted, uprooted, however you want to say it. And that's neat. The problem is, even though the actors tried, none of the characters have any depth. And also, this film feels simultaneously rushed and also very, very stretched out. Had this been a 30 to 40 minute short film as part of a French anthology horror movie, it would have been a lot better. And I think would have worked a whole lot better because unfortunately this movie sets it up nicely and then just plods along. And also a lot of the characters are idiots, and then things just happen, and there are certain illogical things, and a couple things that I didn't necessarily care for, a couple things that I really tend to write off horror movies for, even though I understand why they went the route they went. Yeah, still don't care for that. And if I've written off other movies for it, then I'll do that here. The movie, again, starts okay, and then just falls downhill and falls down several flights of stairs and then ends up in the goddamn black void where it's eaten, and then we're just left with nothing. We are literally left with nothing. By no means the worst movie that I've seen this year, but something that wasted its potential in my personal opinion. It is on Shudder if you want to check it out, but I am going to be getting into spoilers, even though the spoilers will not take very long. That's your fair warning. So yeah, Shudder, great streaming service. No, I'm not sponsored, wouldn't mind being sponsored, but that being said, cast tries, concept good, execution poor. Very poor. In fact, and I end up laughing at most of this shit. Nevertheless, 3, 2, 1, spoilers! Okay, don't know why I said it like that either. So, there are people that are panicky and murdery. Like, one of the main women in the cast, her brother ends up getting stabbed inadvertently in a kind of hilarious way, actually, when a guy is leading with a stick. Basically, he could impale one of his friends. I don't know why that was so funny to me, but it's just the way it happened. And there was this one early scene where, the girl and her brother are trying to figure this stuff out. What the hell's going on? And they go into this one guy's apartment, and he's like, okay, fine, just come on in then. And this one lady lost her cat and also lost her hand because she tried to go out into the void. And the void literally eats people away. This one guy got shoved out at one point, and except his foot. And it was just his foot with his leg. Now, again, some neat little violent stuff, and not a bad idea, but whatever. So people decide to group up, and there are certain floors and certain tiers. It's classism, it's all this stuff. It's kind of like if the platform was executed badly. The platform is something I encourage you guys to check out, by the way. Okay, there's implied animal violence, and I hate that. Even though I get why they would do that, I hated it. I'm not for that. I'm not about that at all. And while I'm sure all the animals were totally fine, that just wasn't cool with me. There's this one guy, Mateo, I think is his name, the character's name, who kind of becomes almost a messiah type. He's talking about God and resurrection and all this stuff, and we have to have various. We have to have various, we have to band together and we have to worship this deity and we have to, have faith, or otherwise, we have to band up, and it almost becomes cult-like to survive this whole goddamn thing. We also jumped like 5 months. Now, here's the question. How would they survive, that long without food, or without a lot of food or water? Do they have a giant mess kitchen down there? What do they have? Sure, there's ingenuity. You can have plants and you can have certain things, but it's just, after a while, food does spoil. You need to go out some, unless you're on a goddamn farm and you can travel in some underground tunnels to get to underground crops. Seemingly, you have to go above ground at some point. You have to go outside at some point. The animal abuse aspect can get fucked is what I noted. We then go 2 years later, and then we get people having stupid amounts of violence. One guy gets upset at another and beats his head in with a car battery. That was kind of cool because everybody's banding together and they're finally going to attack and do this stuff, and we get a little bit of violence. And then we go 5 years later, and then there's a boy that the girl who lost her brother rescued when his parents got shot, and she's raising him and talking about the lion and the dog. They were friends. The dog died, and the lion kept trying to bring the dog back. And what happens when you die, or what does it feel like when you die? Nothing. Feels like nothing, which is exactly the feeling that I had left after this movie. Lockdown Tower, it was a good idea. Did not play out all that well. Gotta give it an F. I'm sorry. I mean, look, if that offends people, I'm sorry. I appreciated the effort, but the movie was messy. It was poorly edited. It got to the point where they were just fading to black, kind of like an implication, like the void is coming after them and seeping into the building, which might have worked if I gave a damn about any of the characters, but I didn't. And also, nobody would be able to survive for 5 goddamn years in that kind of situation. Whatever. Yeah, F, sorry. Agree, disagree what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.